Well, here's a quick garden update for May 2nd. My potatoes are doing well. Not really seeing any flowering, but I think I see a few possible buds on there, so they're definitely in the oven cooking. I mean, the potatoes are growing. I'm being metaphorical. So nothing much to report there. I would say they look pretty healthy. A few of the leaves are obviously getting a little sun scorched, but pretty positive about the potatoes. Over here, I've gotten my zucchinis and my tomatoes staked. Don't ask me which tomato plant is which, but I believe the one in the front is the Romas. And I believe this is the cherry and those are the Rutgers, although I might have them mixed up. In any case, I need to periodically prune those. For example, I see a little sucker there, a little sucker here that we can pull off so that we don't have too many leaders. My mother's advice, I put some paper towel rolls around the zucchini stems. I hope I did it right, hoping they stay more or less on there. I had this old refrigerator shelf from a refrigerator that got thrown away a couple of years ago. I thought it might make a pretty good trellis for these peas. So hoping this will help. Obviously, some of these peas are a little precarious. They're hanging on there to the bamboo sticks, just kind of barely. And then, of course, the cucumbers, they're a little yellow. I think it's just sun scorch. I'm not too worried. I think the plants for the cucumbers are definitely alive. Although these here on the end, they look a little rough. We also see some yellowing on that cilantro over there. Wondering if maybe I've just overwatered or something is going on there. But the basil's doing pretty well. We've got some basil there, 2 plants there, 2 plants here. More cilantro down there that's really going like gangbusters. Wonderful soapy taste for those who love and for those who hate it. The onions are, some of them are even kind of flopping over a little bit. But anyway, and actually I'm kind of wondering if that might be parsley instead of cilantro. I'm pretty sure I mixed the two up. It's got a little flavor to it, but it's not as strong as I would have expected it. Anyways, definitely have plenty of cilantro growing. In fact, it's probably going to bolt soon because it's getting warmer and warmer. Spinach, got 2 plants that are pretty healthy. Never had much luck trying to grow them in spinach in pots. I do have a third little one here that I put in as a seedling a couple of days ago, so it's smaller for a reason. My bean plants are starting to flower. As you can see, there's a little pink flower on that one. Don't see any flowers on, well, I see some buds on some of those back there. So we should have some beans soon. More marigolds, more cilantro and chives over here. We've got carrots. Well, I'll talk about the carrots in a minute. But the broccoli's looking pretty healthy. It's really been growing like gangbusters. I do see a little bit of something going on here. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if that's just sun scorch or something. But anyways, I've also got some buttercrisp lettuce. I've got a ton of buttercrisp lettuce over on the deck as well. I've been trying to start to eat that. I had a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich that I used some of that lettuce for over there. Because if I don't start eating it soon, it's going to bolt. Anyways, back over here. So we got some carrots. This is just a weed. But some carrots here, some carrots here. Let's see. I've had a lot of issues with crepe myrtle trying to put up shoots because I buried some old crepe myrtle branches that I guess weren't completely dead. I'm guessing so long as I get the shoots early, they're not going to suck too much out of the soil, and they might help to aerate it as I dig them out. But each morning I've had to go in and dig out probably about a half dozen. So anyways, let's talk a little bit more about carrots. You can't see them, but you might be able to see going up here and then going here and here. I did some intercropping. My understanding is that tomatoes, at least, and carrots are pretty good companion crops. I'm hoping the zucchini and the carrots will be the same way. The carrots are mostly going to grow vertically up and down. The tomatoes and the zucchinis are mostly going to grow side to side. Cilantro and carrots next to each other can do weird things because they're both related plants. They're in the same, I don't know, family or something. I'm not a botanist, but my understanding is that taxonomically speaking, they're pretty close. So I am a little worried that as those carrots come up, it might result in some weird seeds or something. Oh, back here. So this weird dog bone looking thing was the bottom of a dog bath that my roommates left and just never got used. So I flipped the bottom part upside down, added a couple more holes in the bottom for drainage, and then I've got sand and soil mixed together. It's the same garden soil from Walmart that I got plus general purpose sand, and I put just today more Tennessee red peanuts in there. I had tried to, over where the cardboard is where I originally tried to plant peanuts, but they never grew. Instead, the grass grew back over them. Speaking of grasses, since grains are grasses, I do have a little bit of corn popping up. Hopefully it'll survive the onslaught of just the grass that's trying to come in, but you can see here, I'm pretty sure that's a corn plant and not regular grass. That was just an experiment. I'd never planted corn before, and since that is kind of the backbone of the American agricultural economy, I thought I would just try to grow some just to say that I can. Put bird netting over here with the strawberries, and all of a sudden there's a ton of berries over here because the birds are not getting them. I put the bird netting on because I literally saw a mockingbird swoop down and grab one. This morning I was looking out the window and I saw a cardinal, a very hungry cardinal, sitting there on the fence, and he tried to fly right into this and then realized that wasn't working. So anyway, that's what's going on here. As I said, the cardboard is there to try to kill off some of the grass. The straw is for the same reason, to try to limit at least the amount of weeds coming in. I need to try to go in here and weed and pull some of this grass, but hopefully we can keep this under control. We've got 1, 2, 3 watermelon plants growing at this time that I'm hoping will not get choked to death by grass. And then, as I said, I've got the cardboard down in the hopes of trying to kill some more of that grass that hopefully will make a little bit more space for either melons or pumpkins. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure that these sunflower plants here are going to be big enough to survive the grass onslaught. These are mostly doing okay. Looks like I've got some kind of grassy plant there growing, which we'll just try to pull up. Meanwhile, you might see here, that's a pokeweed stem. It's kind of literally on the fence line. I'm not sure if it's technically my property or my neighbor's, but as soon as it crosses over the chain link fence, I cut it down. Yeah, I know some people eat it, but I know it's going to throw up berries, and my neighbor has a couple of dogs that I love them, but they're not that smart, and I'm afraid that they will try to eat the pokeweed berries, and those are poisonous for people and animals. Well, mammals. Birds, apparently they're fine. But anyway, so again, this is what I've got going on in my world right now. So there's a ton of berries. I need to come out here, get rid of the overripe ones, throw those to the birds, and harvest the ones that are ripe, because it's going to be putting out berries all summer. And over here I've got more marigolds. Oh, and I forgot. So more projects going on here. I don't know how much you can see around the air conditioner. But on the other side of the air conditioner is where I've got another 3 tomatoes, 3 peppers, and 2 zucchini plants. I guess you can't really see it. I've got them in grow bags, and then I've got kind of a white fence that I built around the grow bags to keep them from blowing away, and to, you know, look a little nicer since we're in a residential neighborhood and I don't want to look like a total slob. So anyways, that's my garden update. Thanks.